This video is going to show you how to add content to a page. You will remember from previous discussions that our Design Plus tools work in blocks. Each block is like a box that holds content. To add content blocks, there are a couple of different ways you can do this. One is simply this Add Content Blocks button. That's probably the easiest. You can also do it through the Create and Edit Content menu. You can see, I'm actually going to X these out. We begin with kind of a blank slate, and we have 6 pre-configured content blocks that we expect people might use pretty frequently. So an introduction, student learning outcomes. Obviously, we don't want to stifle your creativity and limit you to only 6 types of blocks. So up here in the Create New Content block, you can always add anything that you want as a new block just by giving it a title and then clicking on the green plus. So you see I just added an About Your Professor block. And you can have as many blocks as you want. In our Add and Rearrange Content Blocks menu, there are a couple of things that I want to show you. One is how easy it is to move blocks. Let's say that I have already done my About Your Professor block and I want it to be at the top of the page. I can simply click and drag and drop. And now I've just moved that. But really, I probably want it under the introduction. And let's say that I had added a block called Assignments or Semester Project. But then as I get thinking about it, I really don't want that on my front page. So how do I get rid of it? Pretty easy. You just click the X, and that will delete the block and everything in it from your page. You may want to add icons to your blocks. You can see here the Student Learning Outcomes one has that nice little checkbox. If I click in this little gray box, I can then search icons. I don't think there's a professor one, so I'm going to search for teacher and simply click, and that adds that in. Now that I have my content blocks in place, I can start adding to them. And that is as simple as clicking into the little paragraph box. You should be able to see just a very faint gray line showing that paragraph block. And I can start typing in content. I can add images here, I can add videos, really any content that can be in Canvas you can have in one of these boxes. One thing to know, and I find this actually a little frustrating, some of the boxes come pre-formatted. So this one is pre-formatted as a bulleted list. And if I want to get rid of that bulleted list feature, the easiest way to do it is to click at the end and just backspace until I get to here, and then I have to hit enter to get back into my paragraph block. This is probably the place where it is the easiest to mess up formatting in Design Plus, is when you initially begin editing a content block. So you may want to save before you start doing that. That should just about cover it for adding and rearranging content.